The test begins. Professor Rock surveyed the room, his 6 eyes flickering with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. Today was an unusual day at the Galactic University, where the species of the galaxy gathered to push the limits of their physical and mental endurance. The classroom, a sleek, metallic chamber, was filled with alien students from across the stars, each eager to showcase their unique attributes. The atmosphere buzzed with anticipation as the class prepared for a series of grueling tests designed to challenge their resilience. Among the students was Darren Kroc, a human who sat calmly at the front. His presence was an anomaly in this otherwise alien-centric environment. Humans had always been known for their surprising robustness, a fact that had intrigued Professor Rock and his colleagues. Today's experiment would test just how far this resilience extended. Today, Rock began, his voice echoing in the chamber. We will test various species' physical endurance under extreme conditions. We will start with a basic physical test and progressively introduce more challenging scenarios. I trust you all are prepared. The students nodded, their eyes reflecting a mixture of determination and anxiety. Darren, however, appeared nonchalant, leaning back in his chair with a relaxed posture. He had faced these kinds of tests before, but here, among the advanced species of the galaxy, he was a wild card. The first test was straightforward, a series of physical challenges that included running, climbing, and lifting weights. Each student was to complete these tasks within a set time limit. As the test commenced, the alien students tackled the obstacles with varying degrees of difficulty. The room's advanced monitoring systems tracked their performance, analyzing their endurance and strength. Darren approached the first obstacle, a vertical wall that required a significant amount of upper body strength to scale. The alien students watched with a mix of skepticism and intrigue. Darren's approach was unremarkable at first. He gripped the wall and began climbing with steady, measured movements. But as he reached the top with ease, a few murmurs of surprise rippled through the crowd. "Looks easy," Darren remarked casually as he descended. "This kind of thing is just a warm-up for us." His confidence was both amusing and unsettling to the other students who struggled with the same obstacle. The following tests were designed to push the participants to their limits. The temperature in the room was adjusted to simulate extreme cold, and the alien students were required to perform physical tasks under these harsh conditions. Darren seemed almost unaffected by the drop in temperature, moving with a steady grace while the other students shivered and struggled to maintain their performance. As the temperature continued to plummet, Professor Rock's mandibles clicked nervously. His species, the Xenons, were adapted to a range of environments, but this cold was beginning to test their limits. A Xenon student's limbs had frozen solid, and a few others showed signs of distress. "Professor," one of the Xenon students called out, his voice strained, "I think we need medical intervention. This cold is beyond our threshold." Rock nodded and swiftly deactivated the simulation. The room's temperature returned to normal, and the alien students began to recover from the ordeal. Darren, meanwhile, appeared relatively unfazed, rubbing his arms to warm up but otherwise unaffected. "Thank you for your patience," Rock said, his voice more formal now. "Your resilience is impressive, Darren. However, I must remind everyone that these simulations are meant to challenge our limits, not to cause harm." Darren shrugged, his expression relaxed. "No worries, Professor. We're built to handle a lot. Cold's not so bad when you're used to it." The next test involved a different challenge: exposure to toxins. The room filled with a faint mist designed to test the students' respiratory systems. Darren continued to breathe normally, while the alien students employed various defensive mechanisms, secreting protective substances or altering their physiology to minimize the impact. Darren explained to the others, "Humans have a pretty robust immune system. We've got cells called macrophages that help fight off invaders. Our lungs and other organs work hard to filter out toxins and keep us safe." Despite his explanations, the other students remained visibly anxious. The idea that a human could withstand what they struggled with was both fascinating and unsettling. The toxic mist simulation was deactivated, and the students took deep breaths, relieved to be free from the immediate threat. Finally, the simulation involved high-impact trauma, designed to replicate the effects of a crash or fall. Students were strapped into harnesses, and Rock explained the procedure carefully. Darren's demeanor remained calm, though a hint of curiosity sparkled in his eyes. As the simulation began, the alien students braced themselves for the impact, each one reacting according to their species' adaptations. Darren, despite the jolting force, handled the trauma with relative ease, his body absorbing and mitigating the shock better than the others. Professor Rock watched closely, his mind racing as he processed the implications of Darren's performance. This human, who had shown an almost casual attitude towards the tests, was revealing a level of resilience that defied expectations. As the simulation ended, Rock addressed the class. The results of today's tests have been enlightening. Humans, it seems, possess an extraordinary ability to withstand and recover from extreme conditions. This resilience will be important for our next phase of experimentation. The alien students, still reeling from the day's challenges, exchanged glances of awe and apprehension. The classroom had been transformed into a stage where human endurance was not just demonstrated, but proven to be exceptional. Darren's demonstration had set a new standard for resilience, leaving the class to grapple with the reality of a species capable of such remarkable recovery. Professor Rock, his mind already considering the next steps, knew that the insights gained today would have far-reaching implications for their understanding of biological endurance across the galaxy. The next morning, the Galactic University's chamber was abuzz with a renewed sense of purpose. Students and faculty alike were eager to see what further insights could be gleaned from Darren Croc's extraordinary performance. Today's tests would delve into the mental and psychological endurance of the participants, promising to be equally revealing as the physical challenges from the previous day. Professor Rock, his six eyes scanning the room, initiated the session with a brief lecture on the importance of mental resilience. Today, we will explore the psychological aspects of endurance, he said, his voice resonating through the chamber. We will be testing your ability to cope with stress, fear, and uncertainty. The alien students shuffled nervously. Mental endurance was a different beast altogether compared to physical stamina. Each species had its own ways of dealing with psychological stress, and none of them had faced the challenges that awaited them today. Darren, once again sitting confidently at the front, seemed unfazed by the prospect. The first part of the mental endurance test involved facing their deepest fears in a controlled virtual environment. Each student was to navigate a simulation tailored to their most paralyzing fears, pushing their mental limits to the edge. For the aliens, this meant confronting scenarios like dark, confined spaces or hostile environments. Darren's simulation was set to trigger a fear of helplessness and isolation, designed to challenge his psychological resilience. As the simulations began, the room's screens flickered to life, displaying the surreal and terrifying landscapes of each student's fears. The alien students exhibited various reactions. Some froze, others sweated nervously, and a few tried to adapt by using their unique abilities to counteract the fear-inducing stimuli. Darren, meanwhile, was immersed in a scenario that depicted him stranded alone on a desolate planet. The environment was bleak, with a grey sky and barren landscape stretching endlessly. The simulation simulated an almost oppressive isolation, designed to evoke a deep sense of loneliness and hopelessness. Despite the apparent severity of the situation, Darren's demeanor remained steady. He methodically navigated the simulation, focusing on finding practical solutions rather than succumbing to despair. His calmness was almost unsettling to the other students, who struggled to cope with their own fears. The Xenon student, who had been dealing with an intense fear of confined spaces, was visibly distressed. The simulation had triggered claustrophobic reactions, causing her to panic and struggle with the virtual constraints. Despite her best efforts, she had to be removed from the simulation for a brief recovery period. Professor Rock observed the students closely, taking notes on their reactions and coping mechanisms. Mental endurance, he noted, is as vital as physical strength in overcoming challenges. Each species has its own thresholds, but humans, it appears, have a particularly robust mental fortitude. The next phase of the test involved endurance under stress, where students were required to complete complex tasks while being subjected to constant interruptions and distractions. The room's lighting was altered to simulate disorienting conditions, and loud, jarring noises were introduced to test their focus. The alien students struggled with the barrage of stimuli. Some used advanced sensory filters to reduce the impact of the noise and light, while others attempted to block out the distractions mentally. Darren, on the other hand, approached the tasks with methodical precision, appearing almost unaffected by the chaotic environment. His ability to maintain focus under such conditions was strikingly effective. Humans are known for their adaptability, Professor Rock commented, watching Darren's performance with growing admiration. The ability to maintain composure and efficiency despite overwhelming external factors is a remarkable trait. As the stress test concluded, the students were given a chance to debrief and reflect on their experiences. Many were eager to understand how Darren had managed to maintain such a level of calm. Darren, ever the affable participant, shared his approach. "It's all about staying grounded," Darren explained. "When you're faced with chaos, it helps to focus on one thing at a time. And sometimes, knowing that you can control at least one aspect of the situation helps." The room buzzed with conversation as the students discussed Darren's insights. Professor Rock took this opportunity to introduce a final part of the psychological endurance test, the challenge of making ethical decisions under extreme pressure. Students were presented with complex moral dilemmas where they had to choose between conflicting values or interests while under simulated threats. This phase aimed to evaluate not only their decision-making under duress, but also their ability to stay true to their ethical principles. Darren faced a scenario where he had to decide between rescuing a group of simulated survivors or protecting a vital piece of technology that could save countless lives in the future. His decision-making process was calm and deliberate. He weighed the potential outcomes and chose to rescue the survivors, demonstrating a strong commitment to human values and empathy. As the test ended, Professor Rock addressed the students, his voice tinged with respect. "Today's challenges have been a testament to the extraordinary mental and ethical resilience of our participants. Darren Croc's performance has provided valuable insights into human strength and adaptability." The students applauded, acknowledging not only Darren's impressive performance, but also the broader implications of the tests. The day's experiments had revealed the depth of human resilience, both physical and mental, and had set a new benchmark for the endurance tests conducted at the Galactic University. Darren left the chamber with a satisfied smile, knowing that he had once again demonstrated the unique qualities of humanity. The other students, inspired and intrigued, were left with a newfound respect for human strength and resilience. Professor Rock, deep in thought, began to consider the next steps in his research, eager to explore the full scope of what made humans such a formidable and intriguing species. The edge of innovation. The following day, the atmosphere in the Galactic University was charged with anticipation. The focus had shifted from endurance tests to a demonstration of technological and strategic innovation. The students and faculty were eager to see how Darren Croc's creativity and problem-solving skills would stand up to the next set of challenges. Professor Rock introduced the session with enthusiasm. "Today, we explore the innovative capabilities of our participants. We want to see how well they can develop solutions to complex problems and adapt existing technologies to new uses." The challenge involved a series of engineering tasks where participants had to create new devices using limited resources. Each student was given a set of basic materials and tasked with solving practical problems, such as developing a life support system for an inhospitable environment or designing a communication device that could function through a dense energy field. Darren approached the task with characteristic ingenuity. He quickly assessed the materials at his disposal and began sketching out a blueprint for a multifunctional device that could address several of the challenges presented. His solution was a versatile tool that combined elements of communication, environmental control, and energy management, a strategic triumph. The final day of the competition brought a focus on strategic acumen. The students were tasked with a simulation where they had to navigate a complex series of scenarios, making strategic decisions under pressure. The simulation was designed to test their ability to manage resources, plan effectively, and respond to unexpected challenges. Darren approached the task with a calm and calculated demeanor. The simulation involved a series of stages, each presenting different obstacles such as resource shortages, hostile entities, and environmental hazards. Participants had to make decisions that would affect their progress and overall success. As the simulation progressed, Darren's strategies stood out. He demonstrated a keen ability to anticipate problems and devise creative solutions. When faced with a sudden resource shortage, he quickly reallocated available assets and adjusted his plan to minimize the impact. His proactive approach and adaptability allowed him to navigate through the simulation with remarkable efficiency. When the simulation ended, Darren's team emerged as one of the most successful. His strategic decisions had ensured not only survival, but also a significant advantage over the other participants. Professor Rock commended Darren for his impressive performance. Darren's ability to blend tactical thinking with strategic foresight is truly exceptional. He has shown how human adaptability can lead to success even in the most challenging situations. The students and faculty were once again impressed by Darren's performance. His combination of endurance, innovation, and strategic skill had demonstrated the full range of human capabilities. The competition concluded with a renewed respect for the unique strengths that humanity brought to the galactic stage. The revelation. With the competition over, the participants gathered for the final briefing. Professor Rock, visibly impressed, addressed the assembly. "Today's challenges were designed to push you to your limits," he began, "and you have all exceeded our expectations. However, there's one more test." A hush fell over the crowd as the professor unveiled a holographic display. It depicted a previously undiscovered anomaly, a massive structure hidden in a remote sector of the galaxy. "This," Professor Rock said, "is what we've been keeping from you. It's an ancient human megastructure, long forgotten and lost to time. Its existence was unknown even to the highest echelons of our galactic civilization." Darren's eyes widened. The structure's intricate design and immense scale were beyond anything seen before. The revelation was stunning. The competition had revealed human potential, but this structure symbolized the hidden depth of human history and capability. Professor Rock continued, "This structure is proof of humanity's unparalleled ingenuity. You've demonstrated that you not only understand and master these principles, but that you also embody them. This is the legacy you are now a part of." The revelation shifted the focus from the competition to the broader context of human achievement. Darren and his peers now understood that their skills were not just impressive, they were a continuation of a grand legacy. The awakening. As the excitement from the revelation settled, Darren and his team were given access to the ancient human megastructure. They entered the site, greeted by an awe-inspiring fusion of technology and architecture that spanned millennia. The team's first task was to explore the central control hub. The controls, though ancient, were surprisingly intuitive for those with a deep understanding of human technology. Darren's group quickly realized the structure was still operational, its systems humming with a life of their own. "We need to unlock its full potential," Darren said, examining the control panel. "This could change everything." The team worked tirelessly, deciphering codes and activating dormant systems. Each discovery revealed more about humanity's forgotten capabilities, advanced energy sources, defensive systems, and even propulsion technologies that could revolutionize space travel. By the end of the day, the team had reactivated several key systems, each one a testament to humanity's incredible foresight and innovation. They marveled at the rediscovered technologies and the enormous implications they held for the future. Professor Rock's earlier words echoed in their minds. This was not just about proving their capabilities, it was about embracing and continuing the legacy of human greatness. Legacy and future. With the ancient megastructure reactivated, the team focused on harnessing its power. They quickly demonstrated the advanced technology to the Galactic Council, showcasing capabilities that were beyond even the most ambitious predictions. The Council was stunned. For years, they had underestimated humanity, but now they faced a reality where Earth's technological prowess and strategic acumen were far more advanced than anyone had imagined. The once dismissed humans were now key players in the galactic stage. Darren, standing before the council, spoke with unwavering confidence. This is just the beginning. Humanity's legacy is far from over. We will use these advancements to not only protect our own, but to forge alliances and explore new frontiers. The Council, recognizing the shift in power dynamics, began to recalibrate their approach towards humanity. Earth, once thought to be insignificant, was now a beacon of innovation and strength. As the story of Earth's hidden megastructure spread across the galaxy, it marked the dawn of a new era. Humanity had emerged not just as survivors, but as pioneers and leaders. The future was theirs to shape, and the galaxy watched with both respect and anticipation. You said, echoes of unity. The galactic landscape had irrevocably changed. The unveiling of humanity's megastructure had shattered old prejudices and forged a new path for interstellar diplomacy and cooperation. Earth's strategic and technological advantage had forced the Galactic Council to reconsider their stance and approach towards the human race. Darren and his team, now revered across multiple systems, embarked on a diplomatic mission to establish formal alliances. Their journey took them to diverse alien worlds, each with its own unique culture and perspective. The megastructure, once a symbol of humanity's isolation, now represented a beacon of hope and potential unity. In a pivotal conference held in the heart of the Galactic Council's new headquarters, representatives from various worlds convened. Darren, alongside human diplomats, presented a vision for a cooperative future. The proposal included shared technological advancements, joint research initiatives, and mutual defense agreements. The presentation was met with a mix of awe and enthusiasm. Alien representatives, once skeptical, were now eager to engage in dialogues. The megastructure's technology offered new possibilities for addressing common galactic challenges such as resource scarcity, environmental threats, and interstellar security. One alien diplomat, a member of the Andorian species, voiced the sentiments of many. We have witnessed the extraordinary capabilities of humanity. It is clear that our future lies in cooperation, not isolation. The time has come for us to join forces and build a brighter, more secure future together. As discussions progressed, a historic agreement was reached. The Galactic Council, with humanity at its core, would spearhead a new era of unity and exploration. The Council's structure was reformed to ensure equal representation from all member species, with Earth playing a pivotal role in shaping future policies and initiatives. The agreement signaled the beginning of a new chapter. The megastructure, no longer a hidden relic, but a symbol of collaborative potential, would be utilized to explore new frontiers, protect against galactic threats, and foster a shared sense of purpose among diverse civilizations. Humanity's journey, marked by ingenuity and resilience, had culminated in a profound transformation. What had started as a battle for recognition had evolved into a movement towards unity and progress. The galaxy, once fragmented and uncertain, now looked toward a future of collective advancement and mutual respect. As the first joint mission commenced, led by a coalition of Earth and alien representatives, the sky was no longer the limit. The stars beckoned, promising a future where the echoes of unity resonated throughout the galaxy, guiding all towards a common destiny of exploration and harmony.